Hello everyone, Chief Canuck here. In case you weren't aware, I've been following Destiny 2 news quite closely. Recently, Destiny 2 was officially announced and confirmed, and today Bungie released a teaser trailer announcing that the worldwide reveal trailer for Destiny 2 will arrive this Thursday, March 30th at 10 AM Pacific. First of all, this teaser trailer is great. Cayde 6, voiced by Nathan Fillion, could you ask for any more? I believe he single-handedly helped steer Destiny's story in the right direction with the launch of the Taken King expansion. I mean, prior to this, Nathan Fillion's talents were practically wasted with his character stuck in the tower as an NPC. So many people weren't even aware that Nathan Fillion voiced Cayde until Taken King. And likely the same goes for other characters in Destiny 1. They have such great voice talent stuck in the flippin' tower. Anyways, on to the not so good parts and kind of the main discussion for this video. Part of me expected this, but part of me hoped this wouldn't happen again. At the end of the trailer, we have confirmation that PlayStation 4 owners will have timed exclusive content for Destiny 2 for at least until fall 2018. This is the exact same wording as the last exclusivity deal with PlayStation and Destiny 1. A full year-long exclusivity is absurd. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I like Bungie. I enjoy Destiny 1 with the varying degrees of complaints. I mean, festival, the cost, other things like that. You know, there's room for improvement. Even though I stopped covering it on YouTube, which if you're unaware, I tried to cover Halo and Destiny news and content, but I stopped due to lack of free time, feeling burnt out, and a few other reasons. But I still kept playing. I made an effort to hop back on for practically every event and try out every expansion. Hell, I was even playing Destiny 1 to check out the Age of Triumph event which is going on when this was announced. But I've said this before and I'll say this again, this year-long exclusive content deal is ridiculous. 1 year is way too long and removes almost any value those items potentially have when they launch on Xbox. I can live with 1 month exclusive DLC deals that Call of Duty has, which is a great example since Activision and the 3 Call of Duty dev studios currently do exactly that with PlayStation. And that was the case when Xbox had the Call of Duty DLC deal a few years ago. But back to Destiny. By the time the exclusivity deal ended and content did arrive to Xbox, players didn't care about the items. The multiplayer maps were few and far between, strikes would have changed multiple times, and any items such as gear, weapons, exotic weapons, and vehicles would be basically obsolete by the time Xbox players got their hands on them. This is because Destiny has the ability to change drastically over a few updates, let alone a full calendar year. There's nothing like finally getting access to a cool exotic weapon that already had its functionality changed, or made obsolete because there was already a better weapon out there, or it just never got upgraded to current levels. Thankfully, Destiny now has a system to bring all gear up to current levels, but this wasn't the case the entire time. Not to mention, by the time 1 year was up, there was already a new expansion or multiple expansions with more items and now a new 1 year timer for those new items. Even as I'm saying this, there are items that still have not come to Xbox, and we're already talking about a sequel. A sequel that is scheduled to release this fall, and according to leaks, sometime in September. There is currently a link on PlayStation.com that lists all of the current time-exclusive content on PlayStation that is yet to come to Xbox. I'll provide a link to that below if you want to check it out and remind yourselves about the stuff you've paid for, already forgotten about, and still don't have. For your information, those items are from the Taken King expansion, which released on September 15th, 2015, and Rise of Iron on September 20th, 2016. Something about that does not seem right. Let me break out the quadratic equation and do some math. Okay, remember the remainder, divide that, carry the 1. Aha. According to my math, the Taken King is almost 2 years old by now. Oh, that's right. Because they changed their mind for some reason and pushed back those items for another year. And a spokesperson wouldn't even comment on when they made that underhanded change with no announcement. So that was a 2 year exclusive content deal for the Taken King. I don't remember that in the fine print when I bought the expansion. That's another thing. Players would pay the same price regardless of the platform, have the same release date, but Xbox players would have to wait a year for some soon-to-be obsolete items they paid for to arrive. All players, regardless of the platform, would pay the same price, and I don't understand how that's fair. Paying the same price and watching items you don't have access to be changed and forgotten about by the time they're available to you is... I don't have a word for it. If Destiny 2 is going to be a living game just like Destiny 1, with it changing constantly, these items need to release sooner. Reduce the timed exclusivity deal to a month or a couple months. Activision is already making boatloads of money from microtransactions, items that, by the way, won't be transferring over to Destiny 2, and by God, I can't wait to see the reaction from fans, if something like a dance emote returns that they have to pay money for to get it again. I'm gonna call it now because I'm fully expecting that to happen. I would honestly be shocked if it didn't. This year-long exclusivity deal does nothing but hurt Xbox fans, and could especially alienate any new fans if the leaks, which look very legitimate by the way, turn out to be true that Destiny 2 is coming to PC. And by God, you don't want to make the master race upset. Activision and PlayStation, this needs to stop. This is ridiculous. Over the years, I've had enough watching business priorities push consumer priorities lower and lower down your priority ladder. I've watched Call of Duty double and triple dip into DLC, season pass, and microtransactions all at the same time. And not to mention have a $15 map pack released for the remastered Call of Duty 4 that is identical to the map pack they released for the original game 10 years ago. But now it costs $5 more. Not to mention, it's not covered by the season's pass for the game the remaster is anchored to. And anchored is a pretty good way to describe it because, as you guys have put it, things haven't been going so well for Call of Duty, except for microtransactions. Is it just me, or is it too much to expect a remastered game to release with all the DLC for free? Or at least adopt what other first-person shooter games are doing by releasing maps for free so not to divide their population numbers? Which is something a remaster that's locked to an expensive edition of poop is currently suffering from. Overwatch, you're doing just fine. Keep doing you. I'm not sure if I should expect anything to change, but if you share these thoughts, be vocal about it, and maybe we can reduce the exclusivity window by the time the next expansion drops, or maybe by the time Destiny 3 comes around. We can only hope. I'm sorry for the rant, but sometimes these things need to be said. I can understand the unfriendly business practice that is exclusivity deals, but I can't get behind ones like this. Please feel free to discuss and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, to anyone that says, well, what about the long exclusivity deals for full games like Tomb Raider and Dead Rising? Yes, that sucks. I'm in no way condoning that practice, and that shouldn't be any sort of excuse. But at least you're not paying for something that goes through a cookie cutter only to get stale cookies a year later. Thank you for watching. If you want me to perhaps start back up and cover Destiny on my channel again, let me know. But keep this in mind, I'll probably have this bad taste in perspective for a little while. I like Destiny, I just want it to be good, I want it to succeed. I like Bungie, but obviously we all have our criticisms. I play Destiny more than casually. I just don't want fans to be punished or ripped off. And that's what I feel this exclusivity does. Anyways, my name's Chief Canuck, and I'll see you guys next time.